Good morning, everybody. This is your host, Bear Evans with Lil Mike Fight Night. I'm here with Baby, if you can see her on my lap. And today we're going to be going over Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, the rematch, except in the octagon. They want to go ahead and run it back in the boxing ring, okay? Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz, yes, they're both MMA fighters, but they both really like the stand-up game. I know that Diaz is known for his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but if you watch a lot of Nate Diaz's fights, he loves the stand-up game. He loves that Compton slap. Can't talk today. Sorry, guys. The speech impediment is flaring. And then also Jorge Masvidal, though he's in MMA and he's known for that flying knee, he is one of the best pure boxers at his time during the UFC. Both these guys have great stand-up game. The only thing is with boxing, when you add those gloves on, it's not as exciting or entertaining as UFC, right? UFC, except for the #1 pay-per-view spot, UFC holds all the top pay-per-views except for McGregor versus Mayweather, right? And that's because, in my opinion, for the UFC fan, which is what, Diaz and Masvidal fans are, they're MMA fans. For the UFC MMA fan, they're looking for some violence, head kicks, elbows, all that good stuff, whereas boxing, it is exciting. I'm not trying to say one's better than the other, but I'm just saying for the MMA fan, I think they'd rather see MMA or bare knuckles than they would rather watch a boxing event. Me, myself, I am an amateur boxer. I don't really like watching boxing. I am nowhere near man enough to do MMA, and let me tell you what, I love watching MMA. So maybe it's opposites. I don't really know. But anyways, I just don't think that a boxing event for Diaz and Masvidal's rematch for the BMF belt. They're not actually going for the BMF belt, but when they fought, it was for the BMF belt. I just don't think that rematch inside the boxing ring is really enticing. I wouldn't spend $80 on it, and I'm sure that most UFC and MMA fans would not spend $80 on this fight. Yes, you can buy it earlier, and pay the $54 or whatever, but to me, it's not worth $80. Jorge Masvidal, he owns his own promotion, Gamebread Boxing and Bare Knuckles Promotions, right? So I thought would have been perfect, and I think it would have been a box office smash, would have been Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, but bare knuckle. Both of them are outside their UFC contracts. They can do whatever they want. They're free agents. They each have their own promotion company. They 100% could put this on. What do y'all think about that? Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal going absolutely bare knuckles. If y'all remember their first fight, Jorge, dropped Nate a couple of times. Nothing new in a Nate fight. He always gets dropped, but he never goes down. Nate is just relentless with it. What would that look like with bare knuckles? Also, too, though Nate did lose the majority of exchanges in their first fight for the BMF belt, Nate Diaz did have some success. He would slap his body and then, hit him with the right hand. And I'm telling you that 2 over the top, that caught Jorge's attention. What would that look like without gloves? Also, too, Jorge Masvidal had a lot of success in the beginning of that fight with that right leg kick and then also with his elbows inside the clinch. With his leg kick being taken away and his elbows inside the clinch being taken away, boxing doesn't give you a lot more of arsenals for damage, right? So with bare knuckles, at least you're taking away some of your limbs, but now you have that it factor or that wow factor. I don't know, guys. That's just my opinion. These are two 40-year-olds that are going to have a rematch. They're absolutely legends in the game that I think are a little bit past their time. But I think in the terms of stand-up with them fighting each other, it's going to be competitive and fun no matter what. I would just much rather see them fight in the MMA. I know it's kind of impossible because I don't want to re-sign a deal with the infamous UFC. But what they could do is do this rematch in bare knuckles, and I think that right there would be the move to do if they want to stay relevant in this fight game and if they want to make some actual money. What are your thoughts down below, guys? Would you rather see, Nate Diaz versus Masvidal boxing or bare knuckles? Are y'all even going to pay the $80 for the boxing event? Because I saw Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul, and Nate Diaz just does not look like he's the guy I want to pay for him to box anyone. But anyways, those are my opinions. Drop your thoughts down below, and I'm out. Peace.